You don't have it on random.
Welcome back. Game has now finally begun. We're going into complexity versus NP, so hopefully it should be a little bit more of an even match than what we had last time. Joining me once again is my co-caster Celin. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I think complexity is going to be able to put up a
bit more of a fight.
Bit more of a nuance.
I mean, they got a demon, you know? I mean,
oh yeah, very
how can they
respectable
possibly
players.
lose? So, draft. Batrider, Wisp banned out for complexity. Shadowjump dropped out. And Bane, I don't really see too much Bane to be fair. It's a bit of a peculiar, maybe a targeted ban instead of a general all-around ban perhaps.
Yeah, Bane can be very useful. That said, I see the Shadow Shaman because of the ridiculous base damage now, but Bane is a bit more of an unorthodox ban. And yeah, complexity have first pick. Let's see what they value here.
I think Wisp is just getting auto-banned out in most of these qualifiers these days.
Oh yeah, Wisp he's a game-changing hero, really is.
Do you know what I think it is that really made teams pick Wisp a lot more?
What do you think?
Companion Cube.
Increases the viability
Increases
by
the
miles.
viability of your hero by miles and makes it picked in pubs for ages. Although that came out and like nobody in pubs still picks Wisp, so...
Well, I mean, it's pubs. What do you expect?
Ah well, you know, we let our memes be dreams. Well,
Yeah.
they're not dreams anymore, you know, we got our kind of... Rubik for first pick.
It's a very interesting first pick from Complexity. I like it, I like Rubik, but not typically one of the heroes valued enough to be first picked.
Just gonna quickly check the sound to make sure we got everything all good. Mute speech all, yeah, we're all good. Current recording, yeah, that'll do, won't it? Yeah, whatever, that'll do. Rubik. Just like you said, a very safe pick all round. It sort of discourages the other team from picking something which you would not want to throw away to the enemy team.
Yeah, generally a very solid support.
I mean, it's sort of like a block pick for like Enigma. You won't get any like you'd have to be very ballsy to pick an Enigma into a Rubik.
Oh yeah,
or Tide, something like that.
It heavily discourages picking those big team fight ultimates, especially the ones that are easier to steal, like Enigma, Warlock type characters.
Yeah, because with Rubik you just become like a better Warlock.
Yeah, it's just you get a great kit.
The Night Stalker slips through the draft, so a lot of teams are banning this hero out, and MP pick him up immediately. And I still think it's because he can fly for like a half a second. I think that's the main reason he's getting picked.
Yeah, I mean, flying movement is a big deal.
It actually gets you out of a surprising amount of situations, to be fair.
It does. He has been, like you said, pretty much a permaban through the qualifiers here, or pick. So, it'll be interesting to see him in a game.
Yeah, finally.
See how he does.
It's just so weird seeing his card as like a first pick kind of material. Like,
yeah.
You just don't really see that anymore.
No, he's not. He's been kind of forgotten about for a while. Still very good with his Aghanim's and the Vision. And just also the constant nighttime puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team, but...
You don't really find teams getting the Aghs that much on these days, because just the fact that you do get the Flying Vision for free, it's just, you sort of get like a pseudo Aghs every couple of seconds, or every so often as well.
Yeah,
so it's like they've built in an Aghs to one of his core abilities on a very small amount. But you now get the Dazzle come out as well.
It's just an all-around solid support pick.
Yeah.
Keeps your team alive in pretty much every way.
Sort of implies there could be a lot of aggression on this as well. Clutch grave saves, or I mean, it could go either way. It could be a really aggressive Dazzle with a Poison Touch build. It could be a really defensive Dazzle with a Shadowy build.
Yeah. Oh.
So, Dazzle ain't going to help you against Venomancer. I mean, if he gets a full... If it's just a little bit of chip damage and maybe just a Poison Nova and a little bit more, you're fine. But you get hit by the full Gale, Poison Touch, and a Poison Nova as well. A Shallow Grave is not going to protect you.
No. The healing is still very good.
It is
but
good.
it's... You're right, he's going to have a rough time versus this Veno.
Could there be a Ancient Apparition coming out from Complexity as well? It synergizes very well with the Venomancer, so a lot of teams are favouring it, and it does counteract that Shallow Grave as well.
If they want to pick an AA now, they will have to run this Venomancer as some form of core, which I personally don't know. I don't think that would work great this game. They could do it, but again, AA is quite a weak pick, so I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, a lot of teams have just been throwing him mid. I mean, he's definitely had a few changes. And magic damage seems to be coming a lot more back into the meta these days. A lot more magic damage heroes being picked up. Control is now a big emphasis once again. I think we see in our previous matches how important the sheer amount of crowd control you can have against something like a core Sven can really, how powerful that can actually be.
Yeah, just in our last match we've seen what you can do with just a good crowd control draft. And there's the ban of the Earthshaker by the Radiant, which means they think that this Venomancer is going to be Probably ran as a core.
Yeah. Potentially mid, probably a top Venomancer at this rate.
Yeah.
And a banner from the Lycan from compLexity as well, so fearing the push. And keep in mind with the new Lycan Howl as well, that bonus HP you can give to people all around the map is actually pretty powerful. And it can swing a fight, it can make what looks like an easy dive be deceptively worse. You might just be able to edge that hero so that he doesn't quite die. So
yeah, and with with a very aggressive pick like a Night Stalker, it can give you that extra little edge and survivability you need.
Nature's Prophets. I think compLexity have done their research and may have just seen the last match where there's another Nature's Prophet. I wouldn't say he was the defining hero of last match, but I mean MSS on it, I think he did decently enough. I think he did decently well enough.
He farmed very well, and he was the rotations he had were on point.
Yeah.
And also a standard Clockwork ban from the Radiant.
Oh, I like the little Clockwork Goblin. NPK for the Lina once again. I mean, if you can shut down the Venomancer, you can just pop him for you as a chance. So the Night Stalker is very good against the Veno. Forces the Veno into something like a Yules or a Manta. You probably don't really want that in your Veno, even though you may be going a core. That 8 second max rank, 8 second silence, I think it is. That can be an absolute pain in the ass for a Venomancer to deal with.
Yeah, it really can be.
Although the Veno does have the advantage of being able to place the wards, even if you are affected by darkness. Just that free vision is incredibly good.
Yeah, I think Venomancer can still do alright here. Although, like I said, I don't know if I can see a core Veno when he's picked this early.
Veno's one of his heroes. He disappears from the meta, and then he makes a huge resurgence, and he sticks around for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and he disappears away. It's like he hibernates.
Yeah, it's about being prepared for it. If you are ready for a core Veno, then you can handle it, but if not, it can really take you by surprise.
Looks like we're having another Quap versus Lina matchup in the mid lane.
Yeah, both very popular mid laners through the qualifiers.
Very good supports for defending the mid lane. Now Rubik and a Dazzle we may even see them stick around the mid just to give their mid laners the advantage, just to try and outmatch the other hero.
Yeah, I think Dazzle is a better stable support. That said, I feel like Rubik is the better ganker out of those two, and potentially Venomancer as well, depending on how he's run.
So if you're looking at MP now, what more do you need? You've probably got could be an off lane, but chance are, I mean, it's a slot 4 Stalker and slot 5 Dazzle. You've got your lane who's got to be a mid or 2. You need your Eternal Envy hero and your MSS as well.
Yeah, looks like it. And there's a Legion Commander.
So there's your initiation as well. I mean, it's another way you can either jump on a Quap, a fantastic disable, just to lock her down for a guaranteed 5 seconds to kill her. And if you can manage to catch a Venomancer, a really good way to stop him get his abilities off as well.
That's very true. Like, you can fully just take him out of a fight. And it combos well with the Shallow Grave. And stay safe in the duel.
Yeah, good point. So if you ever think, oh crap, this duel isn't actually going to go that well, no, actually it's going to go quite well for us after all. We're never going to give away duel damage. Also synergizes very well with the Lina. What more can you say? I mean, you duel someone Light Strike Array, you probably won't want a Light Strike Array. I mean, the stun, if the Legion actually kind of likes being hit during duel, but I mean, definitely the Dragon Slave and the Laguna Blade really good at just securing bonus damage for the Legion.
Yeah, I mean...
And she removes most of the Veno stuff with no problem at all.
That's true.
Very a really good dispel with a great heal on the top of it as well. Could that see us leaning more towards AA? No, never mind, it's SB.
Spirit Breaker.
The old space cow himself.
Always fun to watch.
It is
great
fun to
ganker.
watch.
Again, with the Rubik, they've got some real movement potential on mid, or with Spirit Breaker pretty much anywhere he wants.
Great level 1 hero as well. Something like 700 base HP, 5 armor, just a really good toe-to-toe. One of the better ones who can just man-fight against someone quite early. He does have that horrible attack like wind-up though.
That's true, but...
It's like he's yawning before he swings the mace every time.
Yeah, but I mean, you get sleepy when the enemy is perma-bashed. It's an easy life.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. What is it, 17%? I think talent increased it to 34. I mean, at that point, I mean, you could be near their racks and you can bash them back to their well.
It's pretty based.
So, last picks now. Darkseid banned out. Team MP fearing just the setup, the Queen of Pain ulti, the Venomancer. Spirit can even get like a 5-man charge with a good vacuum as well. So, no, we're going to remove that amazing control aspect.
Yeah.
Surprised the Darkseid gets through the draft this far as well, actually.
Yeah, he's been favored a bit, but I don't know, the synergy is there for the damage, but not so much for the setup with compLexity, I feel. They could have gotten away with it, but I don't know that it would have shown the way it can with some other heroes.
So I think you're looking at Is Spirit Breaker your... I think your Spirit Breaker is your offlaner. It could be the greedy Veno jungle. They could still go for a core as well. They do have a good shutdown. They've got a slow on the Veno and good stuns and disables on the Rubik and Spirit Breaker as well. We could be looking at another core in the Veno rotator jungle if they really want to go greedy.
Yeah, I think they might be looking at a core Veno. They banned the Life Stealer.
Yeah, another pick which Team MP put to very good use in the last game. They do not want more damage that can go into the Legion Commander or the Lina or even the Night Stalker. If you
Yeah, and an infest into a Legion or a Night Stalker as well is just a massive
It
pick
is
to deal
hell.
with.
So are we gonna, is it going to be the Jungle Veno? Is it going to be the Core Veno?
Oh, looks like the core Veno.
It is the Core Veno. I mean, you are all in on the magic damage of this lineup.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, like, I feel like we've seen this a few times now during the NA qualifiers where core Veno is favored, and we've seen it go both ways, but how do you feel about it versus Team MP's draft so far?
People don't really like building BKB that much these days, but I mean, if you look at Complexity's gaming, it's like, I mean, yeah, of course, Core still want to get it, but I think you're sort of forcing MP to get a variety of BKBs. The thing is that you've got the Veno with just and the Quap, this massive damage, and you've got Rubik, Spirit Breaker, and Shakira who can keep people in the fight. You're not going to TP away from these heroes, and the sheer amount of damage and disruption they're going to cause in fights could be quite good. This is going to be a horrible game for a Legion commander to get a duel if it's a 5v5 kind of game.
Yes, she's going to need a
Ice
Blink
Path,
Dagger.
Spirit Breaker, Stun plus ulti. You are going to need a Blink Dagger, but unless you're hitting the Shakira or the Spirit Breaker or the Rubik, you're always going to have two of the other three follow up.
Oh, wow.
Whew, another really greedy lineup coming out from the NP side.
Yeah, so it's basically, we've got a very similar game to the last one in that Complexity should be able to pretty much roll this in the early game, but late game I'd say goes to NP here with the Medusa.
I think, yeah, I've got to throw the ball in your court as well. I think this is going to come down to the laning stage. If Complexity does manage to get off to a really good start, which I think it draft somewhat encourages, they could have a good mid game. But I think regardless of how the match begins, if they start pushing us to the 40, 50, 60 minute plus mark, Medusa's going to come into her own. Lina's a fantastic scaling in hero at this point as well, so you do have to be a little bit worried, and I think it's up to Complexity to be the ones to make the moves, to take the aggression, to take it to enemy this game.
Yeah, and I think a lot for MP hinges on what this Legion Commander can do, because Medusa will take a while to come online, but Legion Commander in early to mid game, she can start getting dual kills, but it's going to be hard to find them here, but I think that might be what makes or breaks the draft a bit for them.
Yeah, I think if you went Complexity, I mean, I'd probably be a little bit scared looking at Team MP's lineup. They've got a lot of just run at you. They've also got a bit of a late game insurance as well.
Yeah, I'd certainly feel the pressure to perform in the early game.
Definitely, yeah.
Because if you're, a Spirit Breaker or a Jakiro or a Rubik, what are you really going to do to a Medusa 35, 45, 50 minutes in? Not much in the end.
And the Rubik hasn't... There's good spells to steal, but it's not like the amazing kind of Rubik game.
No, this is the problem.
Lina's probably got the spells you're probably going to get the most. Press the attack from Legion could be a fantastic steal in the right circumstances.
Yeah, and the occasional Medusa ultimate, but
yeah,
that's hard because you can just toggle her auto.
Yeah, you sort of have to then face the Medusa while she's casting it.
Yeah. The thing about picking Rubik early like that is that you tell the enemy team that, oh, we want to steal ultimates, so let's just pick ultimates that aren't that great for a Rubik. You don't. What are you gonna do with darkness? Useless.
Oh, the spam coming out from the teams right now.
Wow, yeah.
Who do you think's gonna get the most kills at the game end?
I don't know. Who do you think's gonna win?
I think NP.
So you're saying NP's got this game then, yeah?
Maybe play with the most last hits at the 7-minute mark. Nobody really last hits well, I don't think, on the Dire side. I think the Radiant has that.
Yeah, I think so. But what player?
Oh wow, it's a player. Damn.
It's gonna be Dusa or.
I think
Legion.
Dusa. I think Envy's being left alone in these lanes these days.
Yeah, he was last game.
First player get 50 last hits. I think there's going to be a bit of action mids. I think last hits are going to be disrupted, so I think it's going to be the Dusa once again.
Fair enough, yeah.
You agree with my picks? You have faith in my
I have faith.
divination?
Faith in eternal envy.
What if I get to do this tomorrow? What if I do this tomorrow when I'm doing the Moonduck TV thing? Hopefully that'll be swag.
Potentially, yeah.
Part of the cast, let the chat decide. I think I'm happy with this picks though. I'll tell you what, we're having a bit of a wait. Let's introduce the heroes. So we've got Eternal Envy rocking it here on the Medusa. Fata is going to be playing on the Lina mid, MSS offlane on the Legion Commander, Aoi 2000 that slot for roaming Night Stalker and Pilot Dove on the Dazzle. Meanwhile, we have Swindle Melons out there on the Jakiro, Z-Freak on the Spirit Breaker, Moo on the Venomancer, we're going to have Firo mid on the Quap, and one hero disappeared. Ah, there we go. Demon. Of course, how can we forget Demon? Demon on the Rubik himself.
Yeah, it looks like he's just out trying to get an early little lane ward there.
He does get a little ward there.
Well, it's not quite a lane
It's
ward.
not really one that gets scouted that often. Normally you'd have a ward sort of around here in the middle part there, or maybe like up there instead. So this one could go uninterrupted.
Yeah, it looks like. I mean, I think he'd get away with that. It doesn't see quite as much as the other wards, but it does have a lot smaller chance of being discovered usually.
And it looks like both teams are quite content just to sit on their own sides of the map, so no really contention going on. Both teams, I think if they sort of have a clash, it's pretty even. You know, I don't think it favours one team more than the other. I think it's more who can land the most slows and stuns on the other heroes though. I probably would give it to complexity.
Yeah, complexity should have the early game fight with potentially like 4 to 6
Medusa doesn't really do much, and Dazzle, you might force him into a Shadow Grave. I mean, Shadow Wave is obviously the best. It's really good in those huge group type kind of fights. Night Stalker doesn't offer much. Legion Commander can with a really good overwhelming odds, but...
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. And as we say, it looks like they're going to make a rotation. Who's going to find it? It's actually the Legion Commander. It's going to be a really good pick if they manage to get it. Pharaoh comes forward, just going to skill. No, I don't think they realised how many hit. I think if they knew it was just the Legion Commander alone, I think they probably would have gone on her.
Oh yeah, they would have. I think they, like, Quap was just trying to snipe the rune there, but like you said, she had no idea who was there.
Yeah.
It was a very good smoke. They walked over the observer, so it was a great potential first blood. But
it looks like we're going to have a lot of action here in the mid lane. Just casual. What is this? 3 hero mid? Yeah, the old 3 hero mid strat. We did say we think that one of the hero, at least some of the supports, are rotating here just to help their mid get a little bit of farm going on. Meanwhile, down bottom, Maui looks like he's just going to sort of chill in the trees. Leech experience with Spirit Breaker is charging towards him. Got him in his sights.
And that's a boots first on the Night Stalker.
It looks like we've got something going on. Looks like possibly on the Jakiro. They are making a move onto it, but the Spirit Breaker comes in with the Dazzle against the Dazzle. Jakiro is going to get away. See, look how much less damage a Spirit Breaker takes. He takes virtually none just by, the 5 armor and the 780 health. That's base 780 without any boost. That's really good.
Yeah, he's a
Tanky
literal
cow.
solid.
An actual
guy.
cow. You know, big old bovine tank. Copper's already forced to pop a salve in the middle lane. But in terms of the old last hits, I mean, not much going in favour of complexity so far.
No, it looks like both of them have gotten their first waves pretty much.
Then it goes for the early poison touch, just to be able to just harass the MSS just a little bit.
Yeah, and with no fear of him really getting to run back at him.
Meanwhile, looks like we're going to have Swindle Menders rotate back down here to the bottom, and he's by himself at the minute, so a solo offlane Jakiro, you wouldn't really see this that often, especially just how, oh wait, Rubik, the walls are closing in, Night Stalker season, he's here. Most of they're going to make a rotation onto Lina. Lina and Quap are having just a bit of a 1v1, but we are seeing this lineup, this matchup a lot, and it's a super explosive mid lane as well.
It is, and also like tons of movement
A
around.
lot of damage coming onto Pharaoh. He's going to have to back off. Demon comes in just to try and thwart the attackers off just a little bit to save his important mid laner. Quap blinks in aggressively, managed to get a, what is that, Shadow Strike? It is Shadow Strike. It just doesn't seem like a very Quap name of a Quap skill, but does manage to get the Shadow Strike out onto the Night Stalker.
He's all about stabbing stuff, poking it.
Damn, I hate that mana snake. I really hate that mana snake.
Yeah, it hurts.
You can get good bounces. You can. Oh look, I'm winning on my prediction as well. He on the last hit. He saw my. Oh, we missed the first blood in mid. So they did manage to get a rotation. Demon takes the kill, so he's going to be happy with his free boots and actually really close to an arcanes.
That's gonna be, yeah, like you said, boots for the Rubik, and that's a big disadvantage to take as Lina there because Quap's gonna be getting bottom now.
Yeah.
Getting a small farm advantage as well. Actually, a fairly significant one, and it's not how you want to start your game off.
Oh, it looks like Venomancer. He's actually quite a bit forward. He's using the old Banana Mancer taunt. He's actually getting right clicked, has to pop the Gale. He's going to be safe for now.
Yeah, no mana on that Legion. What's going on in mid lane? Lina's gone down again.
It looks like Lina was actually really far forward. Might be able to. Oh, Demon's going to make a move for the Ancient. He's going to get it. He is going to get the deny. So he's going to take a 25-second respawn timer. But Otherwise, he's going to be quite happy with that.
Yeah, but I mean, Lina going down again like that is...
It's a big deal.
This mid lane is...
So they have finally started to get the advantage is starting to go, especially with just how much as Lina's getting shut down in the mid lane. So Levi takes a dual breath to the face, but he's quite happy just to sit here and farm. Bounces the snake a couple of times just to get a little bit more mana back. Does manage to pick up the Basilius as well, so he's going to have a little bit of sustain for the lane now. Especially with the Dazzle here, so with 2 points in Shadow Wave as well, he'll be quite happy and they shouldn't really feel that threatened anymore. You know, surprisingly, I think MSS is actually doing this lane really well. I don't know if he's just getting lucky on the... it's press the attack,
Yeah, I don't...
The moment of courage is the moment of
courage,
courage procs, but he seems to be sustaining really well against a Venomancer, which shouldn't really happen. Oh wait, no, Stalker's now on the pole. He's gonna fly over the trees. He's got haste. He is only level 2. Maybe waits for the level 3, gets the extra point in the queue, or he gets scouted by Moo's ward. So, and immediately the charges are coming out, and the Gale. So this Night Stalker who's meant to be on taking the aggression is actually the one who's receiving it.
Legion's coming in though.
Here comes the press the attack. Charge comes through as well. They're gonna have a follow up stun by Demon. No, they're just gonna right click him down. This is not how you want your Night Stalker to start his game. No,
Legion, I think, felt a bit too threatened to go in there and help. It might have, like, seeing how much damage she did with, the overwhelming odds. I think she might have been able to get in on that, but,
I hear a Spirit Breaker charge. Where is he
going?
Looks like he's going mid back towards the Lina once again, but the rotation's coming in from the Night Stalker already. I think they've realised, they probably can see by now, they might have a wall at the top and scout that Spirit Breaker charge. As soon as he comes into view, the Night Stalker begins his Spirit TP.
Yeah, and Quap's, considering how handily the compLexity have taken this mid lane, Quap does not have that crazy of a last hit.
No.
She does, however, have like 11 denies now, which...
Definitely.
Yeah, Lena's going to be feeling that in the experience department, if not so much in the gold.
And, I mean, how are we looking at experience? Yeah, Lena's only 5.5, and the Quap is now to a solid quarter past 6. Quarter of the way past 6, so she's going to be level 9, and that means Lena can't really come too far forward. If you get caught with a Shadow Strike, right-clicks about 3-4 times, you're then susceptible to an R. Unless your Dazzle's coming in to support you, you're going to go down, and you cannot afford to give this Quap an even better start than she already has.
Yeah, and that's without accounting for, Spirit Breaker charging in, Rubik running around wherever he is. Lots of rotations.
And looks like we've got Zephyr charge onto Dazzle now. Yeah, it's going to back off. It's just a little bit of a threatening, get the hell away from my Swindle Melons.
Yeah, just looking for some damage, looking for the bashes.
The old question mark deny as well. Eternal Envy's, he's doing well in the old CS. He's keeping up with the Quap, and the Legion Commander is also doing incredibly well.
Yeah, Legion's holding up very well versus this Venomancer, and
it's actually a Blightstone Venomancer as well. So I mean, committing to the early push perhaps.
I guess so, yeah.
Or we're gonna get like the first ever recorded Desolator on Veno in professional history, I swear.
Well, I mean, it might be, but I think honestly it's just to start pressuring this lane, which is gonna be tough versus the overwhelming odds for with Legion. But I mean, it's worth a shot, and if you can get a bit of extra minus armor on the tower, that helps.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Howie he's really not doing that well in the experience department, and this is the time when Night Stalker's meant to feel his scare. It's the first night, not as good as when it used to be. When it was 6 minutes between day and night, because by that point you'd be level 4 or 5 if you had a decent laning stage and you could roam around with hopefully phase boots and an urn. The first night is nearly over, only about another 45 seconds, and his presence just hasn't really been felt.
Yeah, that counter gank up top really slowed him down.
It really did. And it all came down from one little ward placement by the Venom. And we said those wards are really important just for getting that critical vision, just so you can you can get an opportunity off of those slight little gifts that you get from that little bit of vision.
Very true.
Just going to show how much of a game of information and faking out that it really is.
Wards win games.
They do win games, yeah. Hear that, all you supports out there, buy more wards.
Looks like we've got a rotation down bottom on Medusa here.
They have completely routed her. She's been caught out. Dazzle is not by. Could maybe get the Shadow Grave off. He tries to get the Shadow Grave, but gets stuck. Is he able to get it in time? He doesn't, and he eventually goes down. Nope. He's going to try and TP out. If they got an Ice Path, they got anything to stop it, they don't. He might take out in the well. He's got a lot of dots on him.
Looks like
he's not going to take out in the well, but a very good kill.
Yeah.
A fantastic telekinesis by Demon there as well. Stops the Shadow Grave coming out and killing that quarter.
And stuns the Medusa with the drop.
Does stun the Medusa as well.
Very good.
So. Jimmy Boy doing well, and I think it's the Spirit Breaker. He is everywhere.
Yeah, he's like...
Oh, and Laguna Billy comes out into the quap, and it does manage to bring her down, actually. They could make a charge as a Night Stalker. He is going to drop. Maybe the stun? No.
Another great telekinesis.
Another great telekinesis, but I think Deagle's actually did for his life. I think we're to get the Night Stalker. A fantastic chain of events for NQ then. Yeah, even the chat agrees with me as well there. So, I mean, you can't have gone that. You couldn't have had that gone any better, and that's going to be that's going to give away what little advantage they tend to have there.
Yeah, I mean, NP are, I mean, it's obviously not out of it, but they're...
Oh, no.
Tusa, what are you doing? Come on. What's the Legion?
Damn it, Envy.
Was it the Legion?
Yeah, who was it? I think it probably was the Legion.
Actually,
it was Quap, and then it was Venom. Venom. Damn it. Does become a bit of a theme to the old last thing when his wards get leveled up. I mean, he's gone for that really obnoxious. I mean, it's really amazing just how good Venomats could be by levels like 8 or 9. Max that wards, max that poison sting. I mean, you can kill supports just by placing wards.
Existing near them, yeah. It's such a pain to deal with. Like, you can see Dazzle's trying to take on these wards, but how many hits is it for him? Like 4 or 5? It's ridiculous.
It's, what is it?
Absolutely
poison sting doesn't that apply like half of it? Yeah, 50% damage, so the damage itself is 40. That applies 15 damage per second. That is insane. And just that's about 150 health over just by one right click. It's pretty nuts, actually.
Yeah, and when they're clumped like that, you can't just walk up to them, and then you get galed and you might die.
At least we're having a much more even game compared to the Star Boys game as well now. So no more than a K ahead by the 10-minute mark. So it means that going into the mid game, well, we're still in the laning stage, but going into the early part of the games now, outside the laning stage, both teams, it could go either way, you know.
That's true.
It is daytime, which means Night Stalker's ability to have an effect is somewhat limited.
Yeah, that said, I think he could really just use some time to get levels.
Yeah, well, as the roamer, he is approaching 6 with the Spirit Breaker. He's only 4.5, so losing out on the experience there by quite large margins. But at this point in the game, it's the experience which sort of reigns supreme rather than the gold.
That's true, but for us, I think it is more critical for a Night Stalker than a Spirit Breaker to have those levels, because Spirit Breaker ulti is very good, but Night Stalker is completely critical because he not only needs levels in his abilities, but also he needs levels in his E to take advantage of that darkness.
Yeah. Notice as well, the push is coming bottom now from the Jakiro and from the Venmans at the top. It looks like we have a charge coming out. Spirit Breaker is going towards the mid. Looks like they're making another diamond to the quap. It's not going to be successful. Spirit Breaker is charging onto the lane. It's going to be set up. It's going to be the stun. There is the stun by Aoi. It stops the charge. And that's one annoying thing with the Spirit Breaker, actually. They've got a fair amount of range of ways to stop that.
That's
Darkness has popped the Night Stalker. He runs top.
Looks like they want the Legion, I guess.
Yeah, and then the Venice should be able to see this coming. He does have a defensive ward next to the tower. It is going to wear out in just a second. Here is Shrine being popped. It might be by the Legion. It is by the Legion Commander. So that Shrine is down.
And she's level 10 now. She is
very
well for experience.
And it's only about just under 700 gold from the Blink Dagger as well. Like a very big item timing for this Legion Commander. And it's a very good way to get rid of this quap in this early game. The quap's had a pretty good start. Just be able to limit that would be quite good. The Pacific is diving very much though. Is any rotations? No, but I mean that's a very big dive for level 4 Spirit Breaker at this point of the game.
Yeah, I think.
Especially in the effects of Night Stalker Darkness.
Mid lane, Quap's coming down. Oh, there she goes.
And it's another 3-man rotation, so Power of Darkness on the Night Stalker, and he times it so just as the darkness ends, nighttime begins. So even more chance for his Night Stalker to roam around. I don't know if you noticed, but Envy's going for the Blade Mail as his first item. So it's even more of a do not attack me because you're going to take ages to kill me, and if you do, you're going to kill yourself a lot as well. So
yeah, does not do that much for her damage, however. Which
it doesn't.
Just slightly delay her.
I think it gets her through the early game, which is where she's having a problem at this moment of time, and it just like she can't be one-on-one by anyone when she's got that anymore, which I think is a pretty big deal. Spirit Breaker is charging back towards the mid. Who's going on? Is it the Lina once again? We've heard this same song so many times, and it's the same ending, but this time Roshan decides to put an end to the encore. He banks off. This Venice has been sitting up top, and he's gone for a slightly delayed Midas.
Yeah, finished his Veil of Discord and figures.
Very good item.
We're doing well here. I might as well go back for it.
The old classic Banana Mancer as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the early game started to settle down a little bit more, moving in towards the end of the laning stage. Let's have a look at the experience in gold. Net worth is actually very little. No more than 750 in favour of either team, and the experience about 3k. So overall, no big deal. So.
Do you want to have a look at the hero levels? Just
not a bad shot actually. If I can, my keybind. Oh god, that's definitely not what we want. Let's get rid of that. Let's just do this old. Let's do that. There we go. So hero levels 11. Oh, why that old jazz? Okay, yeah.
Because that Spirit Breaker, that's what I wanted to see. That Spirit Breaker is still level 5.
Yeah, it's so painful as well.
That's brutal. Even Rubik has managed to find a level 6 now, but he needs to get that preferably before the next fight.
Yeah.
Oh, and a smoke from MP. They want some dual damage, I think. There's a blink on Legion.
I think my stream was just bugged out 2 seconds. See if we can get this fixed.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, boy, boy.
Oh, it looks like Night Stalker's going on that Shakiro.
And he's just... Oh, he's still alive.
And an
That's
easy duel.
not the reason you want to stay alive. I mean, notice the rotation's coming back in, but no, they back off straight away.
That said, Rubik did steal Laguna Blade, so there could be a counter kill imminently.
He did steal it again to match the net worth. We're going to have a quick... We'll see if I can have a quick reconnect, actually, because my... game is giving me nightmares, so apologies guys, just give me 2 seconds so we can get this back. So the early game for what we can see is just, it's breaking down quite nicely. It looks like that NPR starting to push their advantage once again, the Blink Dagger coming out.
Yeah, I think NPR holding onto this nicely for the team with a more late game. Because you're expecting them to slightly lose out in this early game, but they've come back from what was a bit of a rough start.
Yeah, I agree.
Deuce has finished a Blade Mail last, so like you said, playing it safe. No one can jump on her and really blow her up anymore.
Nobody really wants to. Nobody really wants to sort of jump on that Deucer anymore.
No.
And she will get caught. She could get caught in the crossfire. Just walk into abilities and walk into magnifiers, walk into maybe quad qualities. You probably don't want to take too much, but you can certainly punish the enemy for their actions and for their sheer amount of magic AoE abilities.
True, but there is still a lot of ambient damage to watch out for, like Venomancer, Jakiro.
Oh, Demon, Jimmy, he's managed to catch out Fata, but the entire team is there ready to go. Yours comes out and they realize, oh no, we've been caught with our hands down our pants, we need to get out, but the fantastic Medusa White coming out as well.
Oh, wow.
They do manage to clear up the Spirit Breaker and the Rubik, and then they manage to get the Jewel onto Quap as well.
And that's a very good fight for MP. Triple kill for Fata.
Halfway to, he's definitely going to be halfway towards his Bloodstone. I was say Bloodthorn, but he's not going for it. But the Bloodstone definitely is within reach now.
Definitely, and that was an interesting play. It was a good initiation by Rubik, but it was a bit deep, and they were a bit unfortunate with how spread MP were.
Yeah, Dazzle was up on the high ground there, perfectly positioned just for the save. And as soon as they saw that Dazzle and Night Stalker in range, they thought we need to get out. By that point, the rest of NP just mass TP and surround them and just cut them off from their escape routes. So.
And the Lena passive really doing work. She just became a turret. Stood there completely
she did become a turret. That's a very good way of putting that. She just sort of stood there, just right clicked to her heart's content. In fact, she's actually maxing the Fiery Soul rather than the Light Strike away. So just shows how much emphasis she actually put in that skill compared to the stun.
And it's really good to see this Legion really put emphasis on ganking and getting that dual damage early.
28 at 17 minutes is really good.
Yeah, ever since she got that Blink Dagger about 5 minutes ago, and she has gotten two kills with it now. And it's really good to see someone capitalize on an item like that.
They're going on the Blade now. Did they actually have to follow up? It looks like we got Quap nearby. She's not jumping in yet. I think she's gonna be a little bit more careful.
Doesn't have ulti.
Like 3 heroes jump on him, and they just can't do it. They just can't do it. They're scared of the rotations that can come from the Dire at any moment. They are going to go for it. This time is the Dazzle nearby. Dazzle's to the south. They don't see her. They give it to the Shadow Grave, but the Medusa gets the Stone Gaze off, and they are forced to look away. The Shadow Grave comes out maybe a little bit early. I think Eternal Envy might drop from that. Meanwhile, Spirit Breaker does drop. Eternal Envy is still alive. The Jewel comes out into the Battlelands on the Jakiro as well. Jakiro goes down, and they're just going to leave. Yeah, it was... Honestly, I thought it was a bit cocky by the Medusa sitting that far out, but she is deceptively tanky. Really big at this moment in time. Being that low, compLexity they tunnel vision a bit on her and dive. And they get punished, most definitely. And that just goes to show you that everything was just perfectly Sama. Was it calculated? Was it a bit of luck? But the one usages was perfect. The Blade Mail just kept him alive. It was just right, Just right, Not too hot, not too cold, but just Right.
Exactly.
Spiritbreaker charging up to the Dazzle up top, and Spiritbreaker, he had a really good, I'd say the first 6-7 minutes of the game was doing fantastic, but the Night Stalker has really overtaken him now, and it's just is much bigger and much more consistent throughout the map.
Yeah, it shows in that Spiritbreaker, he has his charge and his ultimate, and that's basically what he does more or less, aside from providing some handy movement speed. Whereas Night Stalker, his slow is great, and his silence is incredible versus this entire
And
team.
just the vision he just gives you.
And yeah, the vision at night is just...
Vision is huge in this game as well, especially for a pick-off oriented lineup like NP with the Lina and the Legion Commander. Information is power, especially for the Legion. The more information, the more likely you should get dual kills for certain damage. Damage results in 2-shotting a Rex one day.
Yeah, and that was another dual kill there for the Legion, so...
It was. What are we currently rocking as a matter of fact? Well,
Actually,
42.
42 even.
Yeah, so 14 damage per kill. Or that was it, that's a 10... Actually, I don't think she got involved until she was level 12, so 14, 14, that adds up. That makes 42 in my books.
Yeah, it's been great. Like I said, really capitalizing on the Blink Dagger.
I'm seeing a lack of vision for Dire at this moment in time. I mean, they do have a Venomancer, maybe they think they didn't need the wards as much, but you can sort of see, because Swindle Melon's on this Jakiro has actually got a decent amount of farm for Jakiro. He's got a Soul Ring, got Brown Boots, Basilius. He's also got a Hood, Defiance as well.
It's a bit of a middling build for me. It's not committed to hard supporting, and yet he has the casual Hood, but he's not really... He's got some money towards the pipe, but before he has that, he doesn't really provide his team with anything.
And yeah, what exactly does a Jakiro with a Hood do for your team fight or your ability to fight back? Not really much, because
He stays alive in Ice Paths
Jakiro
pretty
isn't
much.
a huge... He's not the person they need to get the jump on in team fight. He's not the person to shut down and kill, so...
Yeah, and also considering the fact that a lot of the damage now is starting to come out from the Legion and the Lina auto attacks.
Sorry, guys.
The Hood isn't that, or Pipe, sorry, isn't, or might not do as much as he hopes.
Have you noticed that teams aren't building mech and nowhere near as much these days?
You do see it in some matchups. That said,
It used to be an insta-buy on every team, but now there's like, there wasn't one, it's not been for some of our last couple of caster games, there's not one in this game. And I think a mech would have gone a long way in this Jakiro, actually.
I think so, but that said, I honestly think, like you said, either he probably should have committed to just hard supporting.
Give his
Either
team that
that or
patience
getting
to stop getting
something
picked
like
off.
a Force Staff, I think. Because while mech is good, you can't really stand and fight versus this team. Your team doesn't do that. Not
No.
versus a Medusa and a Night Stalker and a Legion.
It's actually quite strange because MP specialises in we're going to kill you within the first 5 seconds, but complexity will kill you after the first 5 seconds. So MP will be able to assassinate a hero outright at the start of the fight, and then you're already at a disadvantage for complexity.
That's very true, and they can do that once with a Laguna Blade. But now they're getting to the point where they can do that twice. Is that another dual win? It is.
And Jimmy is really far out with his rubric down bottom. Gets caught out and gives away more dual damage.
Yeah.
And that's 30 damage on top of the Legion. Quap is coming in quite aggressively.
They're presenting a really, just split up front here with on complexity. Jakiro's on his own in mid. Rubik wandering down bottom. Quap's in the jungle.
Yeah, you're split pushing with a team that doesn't split push well.
Yeah, it's not so much even split pushing as it is just splitting up.
Yeah, and you can't do that at nighttime versus a Night Stalker and a Legion Commander who's got this Blink Dagger as well.
No, that's where they shine. And that's Venomancer's got Boots of Travel now. And again, I don't know if I have much faith in the split push from them here, because Medusa can just sit in a lane, and by the time you can do any damage to her, her team can come in.
Yeah, I am starting to get really worried for exactly what the Dire can bring out.
And it's a late Midas pickup on Medusa as well. So.
I think this is the time where Complexity are actually meant to be in their prime. This is where the magic damage is at its peak, is when they've got all their abilities, they're skilled up. The Venomancer's had great farm, this is the time to put it to use, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, honestly, we've seen this before as well, where the build with Venomancer seems to be, you get your Veil, then you go your Boots of Travel, second item, or a Midas maybe as well. I don't know if I see that, because it doesn't add anything to your
no, here we go.
my.
They get the big jaw into the quap. Quite a position. Demon steals
Duel. That's
Duel.
not what you were looking for there.
Go on,
Probably
Demon,
trying
use
to
it.
do
Give
something.
away free damage.
Nah, he's just gonna
He
try.
should be fine. Yeah.
Is he? Yeah,
Yeah, there's no stuns on any of them. The Night Stalker just simply wasn't in range.
That said, though, the dual damage is getting out of hand now. This is really getting bad.
It's starting to be a bit 70 damage. His Legion Commander's base damage.
Spirit Breaker's in trouble now. Let's get out.
Oh, the Light's the Laguna Blade as well. The Rubik just completely decimates him. He could have dueled him before he killed him, you know, give away 3 damage to Lina.
Yeah, it's not quite what you want.
But this Legion Commander's base damage is over 250 already, and that is insane when you consider the person who probably right clicks the best on the Dire team is Qual, who's sat at a stable 120. So
yeah, and that's another Blink Dagger now. It's up on the Lina. So that team it's just, if it doesn't want to be near you, it gets out. If it does, it's on you in a second now. The last one to arrive is probably the Medusa and the Dazzle. And honestly, by that time, you probably have 1 or 2 dead from Lina and Legion.
Yeah.
O and L.
I mean, it is starting to get to that point where it's getting very hard for this Dire lineup. They haven't hit their stride quite when they wanted to. And the heroes is just falling off already. Like the Spirit Breaker is starting to lose relevance really quickly. And the Jakiro, I haven't really felt as...
Cole wanted Death Ball down towers is what they want to do with a Venom and Jakiro.
It's a bit too late for it though.
But yeah, but they're not. They didn't do it about 5-10 minutes ago, and now they can't anymore because they would just straight up lose the 5v5 team fight, which leaves them in a really sticky situation here.
Yeah.
Because what do? You try to outfarm the Legion, Medusa, Lina lineup?
I don't think any other composition in the game could do it. I think it's just you're just not doing it.
Oh, I mean, there are so few that can contest that late game, but honestly, that's going to be rough.
That is an Aghanim's Legion on the way.
Oh, wow.
That is the old nobody else can affect us, isn't it? I forget about that.
I think they... Yeah.
Isn't going to tell me. That's a pain in the ass.
That's interesting. I thought they changed that one.
Is it the one where you can't take damage? Is that the one where it lasts for like 1 billion years?
I think it might be the billion years one. It's
you duel till the end of the match.
Oh, bottom. Who's down there?
So Jakiro, he's been split pushing this whole time. Is that's a Lina? What is Swindles doing? He's really out of position. Oh no, I think they might just wait.
They're trying to set up for a gank, but it's just
that's
your Jakiro can't precision like that with a turn rate of 2 to 3 years. You can't be that far out, and not on a support either.
And it looks like the rest of compLexity just sort of sitting in the force on the low ground. They see the Lina, but immediately the Yules comes out to sort of save her.
Get this?
And
I don't think
the Dazzle's TP. Whoa, they blow up immediately. The Dazzle just wasn't quite in range quickly enough. They do commit a lot, but they do get it in the end. I didn't think that was going to go that well. They were sitting here on the low ground. They didn't have a ward up here, especially on this whole high ground area here. But yeah, they get a kill and they get out. And I think that's a fantastic... It's a great kill. It's probably the one kill you really want.
I doubt they cannot take any objectives off of this. They need a couple more at least like that. Because if you look at the net worth now, Venomancer is kind of contesting. Other than that, it is a cleanup of for Lina and Medusa. And Legion isn't far behind either.
Definitely not. And it's one of those games, like in every sort of Dota pub, you forget that there is a hard carry because the other 4 on the team is just doing all the work. And then you realise, oh crap, that AM got a 30-minute BF. Where's he been for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, and the Lincoln's is out now from Medusa, so she is on track, hitting a major item every 5 minutes pretty much.
Yeah.
So
the farm rate's just going to accelerate. The levels are fantastic. Level 18 on Medusa already. There's that AFK split pushing and just farming, just been doing well. Give the Aegis over to the Lina, who's on 9 Bloodstone charges after that death, so probably not very happy about that. But the Aegis is going to secure her a little bit more protection onto that Bloodstone, a bit of insurance, as it were.
Yeah. And
meanwhile, compLexity cannot seem to leave the bottom lane alone.
No, they really like it down here, which is
it's a
bad habit.
Place to visit,
I mean, this might be the next level bait, but they've only got. What, 4 members
down here? You haven't got the best bait heroes,
No.
If anything, you want to be the ones with the Legion Commander set behind this.
That looks like what they're going for.
Push bottom, but they're actually just going to go for the mid instead. So I mean, what do you do? When do you go back? I mean, the Venom is very good at holding the high ground, but he hasn't set up his line of wards yet.
You can't trade that.
Are they going to be able to get the interrupt? They don't manage to get the interrupt. Going back down to the bottom. Jakiro's been caught out again.
My. Another 14 at this point?
I don't want to say. Is it 96? 84.
Oh yeah.
Oh, looks like they're moving out towards the mid. Night Stalker's been super slow. He's not even running away. He pops the night time, but he's just going to be forced back there. There's a grave. Is he going to TP?
No.
I don't think so now. Too late. There's not a TP.
Lina looking for a kill.
And they do manage to get it. Just the sheer damage. Just Lina's level 19. She's got the level 3 Laguna and just evaporate. 404 Lina not found.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Quad not found.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you have the Aegis, it's... Otherwise, she probably would have backed out, but, with her teammate going down, she might as well pick around a bit, see if she can find anything, and she does with the help of the Legion, so... Well done by Lina. They do get a good kill on the Night Stalker, but what is Night Stalker? Night Stalker is a position 4.
Yeah, and he isn't needed anymore. He's done his job. He managed to help out. I mean, Nightstock didn't have a great early game, like the first 10 minutes, and neither did Lena actually. And MSS, I mean, he's had a fantastic game in this game, but he didn't really do much in the first 10 minutes either. So
the thing is about MSS is he found his farm where he could. He stayed in the top lane. He did work. He did well.
Against the Veno as well.
And then he went down to the top jungle a little bit, and he found a decently quick blink dagger, and he's just every fight he's there. He gets a duel.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean no pun intended, but I mean it's a pretty toxic lane with Venomancer. You probably expect a Legion Commander. I mean, yeah, you can purge it off, but Venomancer can harass you a lot cheaper than you can remove it with Press the Attack. And he did really well. He actually outfarmed the Venomancer. So
is that a double Shadow Blade we see now from Team MP?
Got one on
the Lina and what's that? No, I think that was an Invis on the Lina.
Was it Elite Invis?
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not there now, but it's Shadow Blade on the Legion Commander, so more initiation. Now going back for the Aghanims instead. This is a scary Legion. I actually think that Legion, I mean, if Eternal Envy doesn't have his ulti or doesn't use it, I think MSS is actually probably the most dangerous hero on that team right now.
Yeah, he's up there. I mean, Lina is, Fata on Lina for sure is doing a lot of work.
The old Iron Cannon. Those are coming from the side actually. Jakiro's here, but they do not have the mobility. MP's team is much faster. Demon gets a fantastic stun actually, 2-man stun. He's just running in there. He pops the Shrine. They're actually surviving so far. Eternal Envy does pop the ulti, which means that the rest of compLexity just have to get back. The duel isn't going to be one, it looks like. They do manage to get the kill onto the Venomancer, who's the most farmed hero on compLexity at this time. And the fight is just going insane right now. There is fire and ice just piercing out everywhere. They might be able to get the lane actually. It's getting quite low. They do have the Aegis though, and she is just going to come right on back. Meanwhile, the rest of compLexity force the fleet. Swindles heads to the north. Demon and Quap, aka Pharaoh, just go to the northeast. Jakiro might be able to make an escape, but he's so slow, the poor dragon. He's had his wings clipped. Does he have anything else? I think he's probably spent. Any duel? Not quite yet. Very close, but...
And that was quite a fight there from NP. compLexity were doing decently at first. They got caught out, the two supports, but Rubik almost saved it with a good stun. But the...
Pops a Shrine, but it's just not good enough.
Unsung hero of that fight was a great ultimate from Dazzle. Covers his entire team. The fight goes on for ages. The armor ramps way up.
Yeah.
And yeah, compLexity just go, wow, we suddenly hit for nothing.
They get the blink duel straight away. Quap is just a little bit too close. That's probably going to force a buyback.
Can't afford this kind of stuff.
I think it'd just be an outright GG at this point.
Oh yeah.
The tier 2 still holds up top, so they can't get a triple max right now, but they're just going to rotate down to bottom. The creeps are in the base. They've got these fantastic heroes with just so much damage. MSS coming in 102. Envy's now hitting his stride as well. This could be... This isn't looking great for compLexity, and they don't have the late game team. You could give this Veno an Aghanims, you could give him all the magic ramp up damage in the world, but it's just not going to cut it at this point.
Yeah, no. Medusa's almost got her Mjolnir now, and honestly, when she gets it, she can stand in the middle of that whole team and they can't touch her.
Is this a draft issue or is this a playing issue?
It's honestly
I think it's clever drafting. Yeah, it is a clever I think it is clever drafting. The Dazzle's just really... When did the Veno come out? He came out really early in the draft, didn't he?
He did. I think... let me think. It was like a second pick.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, it was
second. So Dazzle came out. I don't know if he came before or after, but I mean, the Legion Commander came out late in that. It's just been a fantastic pick. Like, he's got the shutdown they need, and just removing... Have you seen a Poison Nova? There probably has been one, but it's just been...
Honestly,
you don't notice it.
I don't know if I've seen it. I don't think NP have felt it.
Yeah, that's what I think that's an even bigger thing. We've probably seen it, but because it's just the effects, it just seems to be none. And we've got another blink duel to read.
He's easily broken 100. Is he 120?
Yeah, he's 120 now, and he's got the Aghanims. He's going to tell us what it does now. Okay, increases duel duration, makes Legion Commander spell immune. Spell immune, it's a BKB in duel.
Yeah,
damn.
I mean, in trouble, just duel someone.
Just duel someone, yeah. And you can only take damage from each other.
It's insane.
And what is that? 5.5 seconds. It's an 8-second duration. The duel never ends, boys. The duel never ends.
Yeah. And
man, they just keep on buffing that Ag so they get something stupid, alright?
Yeah, trying to make it more viable. But the thing is, honestly, from compLexity, and from a lot of teams in the NA qualifiers now, I've seen these drafts trying to just say, we're going to completely forgo late game to just crush you early game. But so far, I don't think I've seen anyone really execute that well enough to get away with it. Because if you lose that by even a little bit in the early game, the punishment is so harsh when it gets to mid.
I think you can sort of attribute this to just how good, Fata, Aoi, and Pylai in particular are doing. because they are buying so much time for MV and MSS to just get their items and get their levels. The rotations from Dazzle have just been on point. Like, I think everyone on NP is playing incredibly well right now. I'm not sort of, there's no favoritism between these two teams, but it's just they're on another level, and I think it just goes to show NP are up there. They are probably going to be one of the strongest teams for this qualifier, and I think you'd have a very safe bet if you were to go all in on NP winning the NA main qualifier.
Yeah, they're looking really strong here. I would have honestly.
Demon.
Oh man.
He
Is that a dual kill? No.
I think it's just going to be he's just dead. And the rest are just forced to flee, and Envy now it looks like he's picked up a full Mjolnir as well.
Yeah, and now he can just do
he
this.
He
can just walk at him.
He just does not care.
I would have liked to see compLexity draft a bit more of a well-rounded draft, because I think this game could have been really...
nearly gets the blink, but managed to get... But Quap does have a Lincolns, but Quap has a Lincolns and a Veil, like,
doesn't do anything.
There's a bit of magic damage, which is very easily just tanked through at this point, just because of how out-leveled and out-farmed they are, and then she doesn't offer anything. Yeah,
and, I mean, the highest net worth on the Dire is, 14k on the Veno. Lina just broke 20k. MSS is about to follow on the Legion, so...
I think it's everyone's case as well, where teams are punishing Midas's as well. Like, the Spirit Breaker might prefer Midas, but he's not got a single other major item. I mean, you can't even class a medallion as a major item at this point. So, like, he's not offering nothing in fights as well. And the rest, like, if you look at the Dazzle, yeah, I mean, Paladai is very hard supporting for his team. I mean, his team is very clearly in the 21k net worth, and he's still bottom net worth in the game. But
I mean, honestly...
I don't think... Oh no, this is an 8-second duel. That is insane.
Look at that.
He doesn't win. Doesn't win the Spirit Breaker. He's not quite dead yet. Veno does eventually die to Eternal Envy. They may be able to get cut onto MSS. No bash. Oh no, Envy. He's frozen them all. He's just going to right click. He's got a triple kill already.
Oh no.
That's an ultra kill for Envy.
Is that a rampage?
Is it going to give him the rampage? He's got blink in a couple of seconds. He needs to time the stun. The stun does go off. Is it going to be the rampage? It's
That's
the
a rampage. And GG is called.
I mean...
Frog.
I mean... NP with a very strong performance.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal for compLexity there. I think they drafted themselves into a corner a little bit with these... They've got the Spirit Breaker who can get into fights and gank well, and Jakiro is good at like medium range, but they are, aside from Quap, they are all very, very slow and immobile.
Very slow,
and they
definitely,
have like almost zero late game. It's like they're all backup dancers for a carry who isn't there.
Yeah,
in their
that's
draft,
a very good way of putting it, actually.
Which is a real shame, really, to see, because I mean, Dusa obviously just walked into that fight and was like, "Oh, I finished farming, done."
Yeah.
And bye-bye.
And you said, I think the mobility was a huge issue in the game. Night Stalker's just running at you. You had a Shadow Blade and a Blink Dagger on the Legion. Lina with the Yules, Fiery Soul and the Blink. They're just right up in your face. And the ability to blow someone up. I think Swindlemelon's got caught out 3 times. Then bottom is Jakiro just trying to push the wave out. And you can't be doing that. I mean, it's not just giving away a support kill, which in other scenarios might be okay. It's giving away a support kill with dual damage and a bloodstone charge.
Yeah.
You cannot be giving away
and
a small
you lose
little...
time and potential objectives.
Yeah,
it's
most definitely.
You can't do that, especially not in what was at some point a losing game.
But I mean, like, damn, like, what a strong... I mean...
Oh, the Jakiro stats are brutal.
Dazzle did not die.
Dazzle did brilliantly for a hard support.
He did so well.
Ultis were on point, Graves were on point. He did what he needed to and didn't die much. Or he didn't die at all.
Even. I mean, if you had to put an MVP, I mean, they're all quite capable. I think Paladai's Dazzle was just so good this game.
He did
incredible. And I think you pointed out as well, he got, like, a really good weave off in that
he got
engagement near the Dire Shrine as well.
It was great.
Dire Jungle Shrine in the east side. So, yeah, just a fantastic game and a fantastic showing. Right, we're going to be signing off for now. You know, in the UK here, it's closing in on, is it at past 25 to 1?
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, so we're going to be closing this game out now. For those who are interested, the Moonduck Production TV Studios is doing a Casters Crucible, which is basically where casters get to cast on their stream and get ridiculed by Twitch chat, and you know, if they're crap they get booted, if they do really well they get promoted and they get put on a list of elites. So if anyone here would like to tune in, that'll be on Moonduck TV 2 tomorrow. Once again, this has been GrandVandalier. It's been a pleasure to cast for you, and I've been joined by my co-caster Celin. Any final words before we leave?
I don't know. Good Dota. I liked it. compLexity. You tried. I appreciate it.
Better than
NP. I look forward to your future games.
Yeah, very good. I mean, Celin certainly showing stability coming into these NA main qualifiers. Let's wish them well for future games. But that'll be all for today. So thank you very much for tuning in once again for GrandVandalier. If you did like what you saw today, chuck me a follow. Otherwise, I will see you again tomorrow where I'll be casting on the Casters Crucible. Come and wish me luck or come and ridicule me, whatever you choose. But take care and have a good night. See ya.
Bye.